Chance to follow up with a strong forehand topspin. You see here, this ball, usually it's a chance
for the short forehand with the banana come back. I think a lot of people ask, you know, he's not as flat game. Ma Long's quite subtle, but very different.
Ma Long service one time?
I don't think I've had him give me a pull receiving them.
Two times, three times, and then in one moment, when you can see here in slow motion, when it has to be stepped in the ball, that down.
Marcos Freitas' backhand, and even though in the forehand to step around after, he had been down, I think it was 0-10. This was after the Kuwait Open loss where he was down, can't get into the, like, too long into the rally.
Was a bit too slow, but then followed up with a good backhand, not that fast, but very nice.
And finish the point. Side spin on it. This is a guy who knows he has to finish the point. Plays it soft for a moment, and the rally's going to go the other way.
You see this angle, unbelievable there.
Wow. Right. A little bit too much with their serve, and you see more service errors.
More to the right to play the forehand. Be active. Then after this block, you see there he's not fast enough coming back. This ball was...
Study Ma Long in pretty much every aspect of the game. So steady.
And he's so, exactly what you say, consistent. He's not...
Points. Block, he can't get passive. And it's tough to remind shot, the second needs it too. For one, Ma Long. Yeah, for me, play such an aggressive shot that when the ball comes back, to remind yourself you have to do the same thing again to take more.
Strong forehand topspin. If I prefer to come with the backhand, but then again, what we saw also from...
For a while, and he'll make this counter a lot with his backhand. Freitas really trying to keep the pressure on.
Backhand. Above the table. Now we see here.
For Ma Long, and against the lefty, it's just going to jam him up into the backhand.
And you see it before, I remember. But meanwhile, you see now against Marcos, high though, I believe. Nice. Rely on his forehand.
He's trying to make a big forehand from a ball played in the middle, not getting passive.
But you see there, this reaction shot of Ma Long, putting the ball in front, not coming up with the body. Not that long movement and still able to accelerate that much. We can see here now.
That whipping backhand. Sing himself a little bit.
7-5. You see even touching the net a bit here now. Really a good one. We will see here now. Not that easy, you see. Very nice touch, very low.
I was surprised he played it soft once again. You feel it's
during the rally, it touched one time the net.
There it is.
Yeah. It seemed to me that Ma Long altogether is for the World Championships in Sushu, and still sometimes Ma Long gets under pressure. For example, against Yang Yong-sik, or in some moments in the Olympics again.
We're in 2015, and in 2016 he got beaten twice, right around the same time.
For the next ball in order to attack the second. Then he gets a chance.
Receive.
But he was already in the movement in front. Here we see, surprised by the long push. Ma Long did good, and Marcos also did quite brave. And that's something we should keep in mind.
Receive. Could be the future of table tennis, we'll see. Forehand side.
And I like this switching of the wrist there. when in last moment he moved him to the forehand. You see first this hook into the deep backhand.
At Mizutani, players like FREITAS and Mizutani that are so comfortable fishing down most of the rest of the world.
Jun Mizutani did this extra step and winning the medal in Rio by improving the best to catch up with. Trying to get closer to the table, not moving away, not to play too much this spin-spin. It's a bit more common that after the short receive, you have another time.
It is the thinking moves ahead and setting up the shots, sort of.
And Marcus is doing it well. After this first receive, he's coming again with a good followed up. A bit too far away from the table, a bit too low. And usually Marcus wants to see more rallies like this when he's staying close to the table. Here, following up, counter loop. Maybe we can see here in slow motion, and then exactly a very, very good push.
This comes with confidence, his versatility. We talked about and he does it comfortably.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to take, and FREITAS puts it down.
Yeah, very good. Very nice acceleration there. You see, like everybody was not like that safe.
Serve, and how players sometimes toss the ball back into the body a bit, and Marcos.
For all, probably he was expecting more to the deep forehand. And this return, but very nice, like steered into the deep forehand. Yeah?
Right. The fact that Marcos FREITAS has won some of these, even the rallies.
And there, nice hook, not that fast, but nice hook, and Ma Long was not moving enough, had to open the side a little bit more.
The body to the short side.
And he deserved it. Maybe Ma Long got a bit too passive.
Game for Marcos FREITAS in his career against Ma Long on the World Tour. What a time.
And Ma Long was already on the winning streak in this way.
Dude.
From Marcus' side to keep aggressive, not to slow down the comfort zone, to go for the ball. And to my point of view, really struggling was against young backhand situation that time.
Has the opportunity here, gets a third ball. Being invited to the Chinese Super League after that. There's that pendulum serve. Point where he backs off the table and quickly becomes too passive that he.
For example, we see before in the beginning, it's very crucial in table tennis. Where Marcus very often is coming with a bit classic way of playing against Marcus. Backspin. Combination, the connection.
Quite a bit. Until the very last.
Because usually after this, that's his ball. I mean, Marcos, he has to do this extra step.
Look at the body language after you.
FREITAS cannot really open the ball. Then shot long into the backhand. And Chinchijan about the receives, about the different possibilities now, because Marcus, as we know him, have a very, very good this time reading the receive pretty well.
Ma Long comes right out of this timeout, and the thing is, it looks like he could push it. At this moment, you don't know.
Last moment he was deciding to do this. He's usually known to do this kind of technique, especially with the backhand. He's coming close as he's pretending to come and turning the racket. He is doing, as many players are calling it, the Ma Long flick.
Right. Place.
Ma Long, Marcus FREITAS couldn't come back fast enough.
grunting and hitting hard to the angles. This is the most work I've heard from Ma Long against lobs. And this is not a winning recipe for FREITAS, but he still doesn't give up, chases it down, and with a little help off the top of the net, picks up the pace on that.
And maybe this long rally lifted up Marcus FREITAS to...
This is a way to win, but FREITAS knows, he says, I got away with the point from off the table.
Not perfect right now, although he's up 3-1. To get a passive block back, here very good, and then to follow, doesn't matter, with forehand or with backhand. Classic style now, changing the service, I think. I'm sure Marcus feels that he has up.
Pulling out on the table, still, he just doesn't give up. Oh, another break for FREITAS, or... He says, I'm going to give everything I can, all cylinders, all the time.
You see there, again, instead of first placement. Too passive, second time, with the forehand side.
That step around forehand attack.
Long's deep forehand with the backhand receive. Like easy service, straight service, one more time short. Flick, having this combination, fast to come back. Very good. Nicely done. This is
Edge,
what
maybe.
happens sometimes, yeah.
FREITAS has really been fighting here.
And you see, this forehand topspin is not that strong. Not more time.
Go for a fourth ball attack.
To move towards the ball. Because again, this flick to the backhand side, this opened a chance for Marcus. But now again, you see here, I'm not missing the ball as he was doing before. Better into the ball. These high balls, they are not that easy.
About his placement.
Exactly, because you see, he was coming from behind the corner. He should have a fast flick to the deep forehand, but Ma Long changed the position.
The Dragon has taken down Marcus FREITAS.
Match with his backhand so far out into the deep forehand.
Stick around, we've got another match coming up, but we're going to have a little bit of a break.